Gather round now, children. I've got a fucking story for you. It's a bullshit story, as they often are. And if you don't like it, you're a right old jolly bastard, aren't you? Aren't you? I know you are. So listen in if you're ready for another installment. Got that motherfucking Leaf Village header on my headpiece. It's a good one. Check out the bill on that bitch. For y'all Naruto fans out there. And I got my PlayStation shirt. I'm ready to go. So let's get into it. This fucking story is about Six Flags. Seis Banderas over Texas. Pendejos. Y'all know where that shit is? Right up in the Metroplex. Lots of coasters. Lots of dope shit. Lots of fun to be had out there at Seis Banderas. When I was young, though, I did not have much fun. It was not my fucking bag. I wasn't into it. Didn't like going. The only times I went, I only rode the fucking children's rides. Because I wasn't into all them big, crazy, scary G-forces and bullshit. So, the first ride I had problems with was the mini mine train. They also had the runaway mine train, which was a little more hardcore. But the mini mine train was the one that I was scared of. I was just a wee boy, probably about fucking 5 years old. Really scared, you old chaps. I was really fucking scared. So my Aunt Sherry, who I love dearly, my favorite aunt of all time, she was like, "You'll like this ride. You should give it a try. Come on, don't be a giant pussy." She didn't say that, but she did tell me that I should get on it. She just wanted me to have a good old fucking time out there. But I wasn't getting on no motherfucking mini mine train. No, sir. Y'all might remember my Aunt Sherry. She used to substitute out in Bryson, Texas. Very small little place. She was the shit. But anyway, that day, she was like, "Get on the mini mine train. Let's have a good time." And I proceeded to throw the most gigantic fucking tantrum of my life. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want to fucking do it. So I didn't. I threw a big, huge fit, and everybody went on the ride but me. And I think Aunt Sherry had to sit out on one of the benches in the smoking section, chilling with me, smoking a Benson and Hedges. Not me, her. My smoking didn't come till much later in my life. But anyway, made her sit out there with me because I was a huge bitch. Then came the Mexican hat. Y'all might know it as a sombrero. Yeah, that motherfucking thing spun in circles and went up and down as it spun. She wanted me to get on that motherfucker too, and I was like, nah, I ain't fucking getting on no bitch-ass Mexican hat. No goddamn way. Tears streaming down ice, out of eye sockets. So fucking totally terrified. But that one, I ended up getting on. 'Cause she made me. And I fucking love that shit, boy. Ooh! The Mexican hat was dope as fuck. Loved it. Rode it about 85 times in a row. They were all like trying to grab my hand, talking about, "We're leaving now. We're going home." I was like, "No, we fucking ain't. I'm riding the Mexican hat for the 86th time. And it's gonna be every bit as tight as it was the first time." And Sherry was like, I told you it was gonna be dope. They couldn't pry me off that motherfucker after that. Rode it over and over. Next came the Conquistador. The fucking Conquistador. The giant fucking ship that swung on a pendulum way fucking high. Sometimes it would spin you all the way, hurl you into the air to where you'd be looking directly fucking down at the ground. Miles in the sky, it seemed. Well, my dad and my brother insisted that I get on that ride. I was a little older then and didn't want to seem like a huge pussy. So I rode it. Did not fucking like that bitch a bit. Will never fucking ride that motherfucker again. For a moment, we're going to have to pause the show because I know a lot of you are thinking, this guy, through the stories we've heard along his journey through these bullshit stories, we've learned that he is a punani. But guess what? I don't give a fiddler's foot fuck what you think. I was a scared young boy. Still have a little bit of fear in me these days. But anyway, back to the tales of Seis Banderas over Tejas. So we had the Mexican hat, El Sombrero. We had the Conquistador, the motherfucking ship. And the third one we had off in the Mexicano section of fucking Six Flags was La Vibora, Holmes. That motherfucking snake, that luge type fucking goddamn shit that you slid all over on this fucking little car thing. And it was like a water slide without the water. Anyway, didn't want to get on that bitch, but Aunt Sherry fucking urged me to. So I did. And guess what? Loved it. Fucking loved it. Wanted to ride that bitch 85 times in a row too. But the first roller coaster I rode, cousin, Judge Roy Scream. I screamed a little bit on that bitch, threw my arms up. Woo! Woo! Ah! It was tight. Rode it with the homie Zed Michael Hudson. It was the shit. My first roller coaster experience. And I got on that one because it was the smallest one at the park. Loved it. Thought it was sick as fuck. Rode it at least 14 times in a row. And on the 15th time, I said shit. I said shit because I thought it was real cool that I had faced my fears and rode on that bitch. Had a good time. Traveling back in time a bit, mate, to when I rode the fucking parachutes. Oh, I sure did hate that. Didn't like it a fucking bit. No, sir. Rode it with my Uncle Mike. My Aunt Sherry insisted that I go on that motherfucker, and I fucking hated it. What it did was it went way in the fucking sky, at least 14 miles above sea level. And then it plunged you down at a high rate of speed. Made my stomach fucking creep up all the way into my throat. A horrid feeling I never want to experience again. I screamed, I cried, I threw a fit right in front of Uncle Mike. One time, young thugs, I stood in line for the fucking Titan. Not long after that bitch was constructed. Stood in line with the homies. Got all the way up there. But throughout that whole line, we didn't have no flash pass. We fucking waited for at least 47 hours. That was what it seemed like. Anyway, the homies were like, you really gotta do this, dog. You really gotta do this. You wanna, at the end of your life, be able to say, you're done, homie. You done it all. I was like, promise you, once we get up there, I'm bitching out. Yeah, so I did. They all proceeded to get on the motherfucking Titan. I did not. Even the fucking people that operated the ride were like, are you not getting on? I was like, you're goddamn right I'm not getting on. Y'all are fucking out of your mind. What if this motherfucker flies off the track, plummets you towards the ground? You hit the ground, splatter into a million pieces, and die. I wasn't having it. Walked my happy ass all the way back to the exit of the line for the Titan. Waited for the homies to get done with their fucking attempts at death. It was basically suicide. I had no fucking qualms with the fact that I bitched out on many a ride at Seis Banderas. No qualms with it. Did not care. Didn't fucking care that I was a pussy. Didn't get on none of them goddamn rides. But as I got a little older, I grew to really like roller coasters and the like. I turned out to be very fucking brave. I proceeded to go to Six Flags and actually have a good time, not being a huge LB. Got on a lot of rides. Rode the Shockwave, which I had sworn to myself I would never ride a roller coaster with giant loops. Was never planning on doing it. Ever. But I got on it. Loved it! Fucking loved it! It was sick as fuck. Got on that. Got on the Runaway Mountain, I believe it was called. The whole roller coaster that's in the dark. Did it blind, homie. Did it blind. And it was sick as fuck. Never rode the Titan. But I got on that Texas Giant, dog. Rode that motherfucker at least 3 times in a row. One time out there at Six Flags, and Sherry put sun accelerator on me. You know, the opposite of suntan lotion. Shit got me burn up, homie. Straight 3rd, 4th degree burns on my face, neck, shoulders, torso, tops of my feet, everything. My fucking scalp was burnt. My eyelids was fucking burnt, homie. My mom was not a happy camper. She was pissed at old Aunt Sherry for accidentally putting the wrong shit on my body and fucking me up. I don't remember it. I was quite young. Probably because of the tantrum I threw over the mini mine train. But apparently I was charred. Once went in that little auditorium thing they had there where they would often show shows. Saw all kinds of cool shit. One time we saw Batman up in that bitch. And that motherfucker got on a zip line. Zipped his way right up into the audience. Came right up near us in his little bat costume. Shit was crunk. That shit was Trillville, dog. And then some crazy motherfucking villains in that show climbed way the fuck up to the top of these poles and just chilled. They were so high up. I was like, if one of these motherfuckers falls, they're breaking every bone in their fucking body. But nobody fell. I'm really glad. I did not want to see a death that day. I just wanted to see Batman, homie. But my favorite goddamn thing I ever did at Six Flags. Well, there's actually 2. But the first one was the right stuff. If you've ever been to Seis Banderas over Tejas, you remember the fucking right stuff. It was sick as fuck. You went up in this theater and sat in these chairs. And when the right stuff was on, you got to see motherfuckers fly in super fast jets. And the chairs moved and swung all over the place, and it was like you were flying in a jet. Shit was sick. Loved it. But what was really a fucking bit of a banger was when you went on the splashdown. It was fucking dope, mate. You went on the splashdown, you splashed down on a giant fucking thingy. Then at the end of the ride, you got to go stand up on this fucking catwalk. And when you on the catwalk, the splashdown would come down, splashing you. Imagine that. Anyway, it was dope. You got fucking hit with a giant tsunami wave of water and slammed back against the fences of the little catwalk thing. And it was sick. But if you rode that motherfucker too early in the day, your hands and feet were pruned by the end of the night. Water sloshing around in your galoshes all fucking day. But anyway, fuck Disneyland, dog. Fuck it. What was real fucking sick was Seis Banderas. That was the place to be, and we went just about every summer. Had me a little girly friend. We rode the Batman, the motherfucking Batman, and the fucking Mr. Freeze, dog. The one that went straight up, then launched you straight down. But she used to tell me when she got on them maximum G-force rides, she would black out, and she liked that shit. I was like, word? You trying to black out on this shit? You're fucking crazy. I never blacked out. But I gotta tell you, my favorite ride, besides the right stuff, and besides the splashdown, was that Mr. Freeze. Loved how they had all the Batman-themed rides up in there. I think they call one the Joker now. Ain't rode it. But it's probably nothing like it was back in our day. Back in my day, fucking Seis Banderas was the goddamn best place you could ever go. Now they got a bunch of bitch-ass rides up in there. I don't go much anymore. Haven't been in about 3 or 4 years. But if I do go, I'm gonna get on some shit. I might pop a Molly before I roll up in that bitch. I don't do Molly. But if somebody offers me some Molly, I'll fucking pop that bitch down the hatch and fucking ride everything. Fucking Seis Banderas is sick as fuck. I look forward to the day when I get to go again. And when I do, homie, I'm gonna try to have a flash pass this time. So I don't gotta fucking wait in 75-hour lines. Because if somebody shits on one of the fucking water rides, they'll shut the whole bitch down. Apparently that's what happened one time. Somebody shit on a fucking log ride or something, and they shut half the fucking park down. Can you imagine that? Paying fucking 75 bones because you didn't have a Coca-Cola can, and then not getting to ride jack shit? Bit of a non-banger. Anyway, I'm gonna try to go back to that bitch soon. So if you see me out there doing my fucking thing, riding everything in the goddamn park, say hello to me. Give me a friendly wave, and we'll probably ride some shit together. Cause when I go again, I might not take some fucking Molly, but I'm gonna definitely try to be high as fuck. So, that's my fucking story. And I'm sticking to it. Anyway, told you I'd tell you a little something a while back. Ain't told you yet. You see this? Can't really see it. The lighting's not that good. There it is. Look at that scar right there. I'll tell you what happened. It was all 'cause of a feline. I know y'all noticed I had a fucking bat in the cave. Basically, the whole time I've been telling this fucking story. Try to ignore that. I picked it and ate it. Ugh. Anyway, the fucking scar, seen round the world. All the places I've been, people have noticed my scar. And I'll tell you this, it was a feline. I was laying down on the fucking couch, just chilling, doing my thing as a wee baby. And up on the top of that couch was that feline. I started crying, throwing me a bit of a tantrum, screaming, throwing a fit. All of a sudden, the fucking feline jumped from off the fucking top of the couch, scratched me across the face, fucked me up. But my dear old mama scooped me up in her arms real quick. Fucking took me to the bathroom and put some fucking butterfly stitches on my shit. I kind of love how it turned out. Gives me a bit of character. So, I've held you here too long, continuing to prattle on about my bullshit stories. I actually told you two, for the price of one. The story of my scar, and the story of Seis Banderas and my experiences there. So this is me signing off. Once again, and as always, if you did not like what you fucking heard, knock some shit over. If you did not like what you heard, just remember, I don't give a fuck about it. But if you do like what you hear here, stick around. Take a giant cock, stick it in your ear hole, and fuck it so you can hear it coming if you don't like my stories. But if you do, I got plenty more to tell. Bye-bye. Peace. Later. Have to apologize because I made a little bit of an error during my story. I said that Aunt Sherry put sun accelerator on my body, and then I went on to tell you, y'all know that the opposite of sun accelerator is suntan lotion, but that's incorrect. The opposite would be sunscreen. I'm a complete human piece of trash garbage and an idiot. So I fucked up. Forgive me. Anyway, now the story's over. You dirty bastard.